Le slow ist le pew. Hello, everyone. I'm the MoeChicken, and welcome back to more Radical Dreamers. We are continuing to pursue the various endings, and so we will try to get another one tonight. If you were here for the last episode, you saw that, like, most of the alterations to the story happen right up front, right here. So in the last one, I fell asleep. I was hypnotized by her braid. But this time, I will not fall asleep. Sleep. I can't fall asleep. Not now. It's too dangerous to fall asleep now, I keep telling myself over and over again. Kid has a name for this sort of thing, but I can't seem to remember it at the moment. Man, that was close. Shaking my head, I try to stay alert. Still, all this is really something. Walking through a forest like this on a night like tonight reminds me much of the first time I bumped into her. Oh, and then this. Okay, so... yeah, see, he's talking about how he used to be a bard, or whatever. When? I don't know. Doesn't make it... unless he's supposed to be way older than her. I mean, maybe that's the case. I just always got the impression that he was about her age. Or maybe he was a bard when he was like 8. I don't know. Yeah. Just skip ahead to when something happens. They've seen this already. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Apparently, I get to choose this? For some reason? I'm going to say it's like the old saying, April showers bring May flowers. For example, lately it's been pouring down hard, but someday the sun's bound to start shining on me. It'll come someday, I'm sure of it. Yeah, likewise. For now, I'm just some small-time thief, Kid adds, but someday I'm going to strike a witch. And then, watch out. Hey, what's that bright flash over there? Kid suddenly asks, pointing towards a thicket in front of us. Huh? I don't see anything. I look around closely, but all I see is a bunch of trees and rocks extending on into the darkness. It was a bright flash. It was right over there, I tell you. Alright, let's go check it out. I walk over beside Kid, trying to see whatever it was she saw. Maggle approaches as well a moment later. We are already fairly deep into Lord Lynx's territory, he says. It's dangerous to start blindly wandering around. You are aware of that fact, are you not? However, Kid doesn't budge an inch, keeping her eyes on the bush. Do you feel something here? Maggle asks, changing his expression a moment later. Kid's eyes meet Maggle's for a moment. Before long, she returns her focus to the forest. So be it, he finally says. If we are intended to stray from the path, this may prove to be worth something in its own regard. But before Maggle even finishes speaking, Kid bolts, disappearing into the trees. Hey, wait up! Be careful, Serge. Foul things lie down this path. Nodding, I cautiously start to make my way down the trees. Okay, so now we're going to have a forest adventure. Y'all ready for a forest adventure? Apparently it's happening. Much to my surprise, we're able to find it right away. It turns out to be a beautiful beetle, covered in colored solid gold, perched in a high tree limb. The golden beetle! Kid cries out, climbing up the large tree. The beetle certainly glitters like real gold. Kid seems quite caught up in the sight. No, not caught up in the sight, rather caught up in the greed, I should say. Man, she's fast. She's already climbed up about 5 or 6 times my height, heavily baited with hopes of gold. Aha! Kid catches it, but almost instantly the beetle shakes free, buzzing out of her hand. Waves! She yells, reaching her hand further and further, hoping to catch the golden insect. But suddenly she loses balance and falls. Try and catch her. Hold on! I yell, leaping forward. But then she begins to curl herself into a small ball, spinning around in midair like a cannonball. This is bad. She'll knock the both of us out if I have to catch her like that. Seeing this, I jump out of the way, fearing for my life. However, Kid opens herself up mere feet before the ground and gracefully landing as nimble as a cat. Doesn't seem hurt in the least. If I hadn't run, she probably would have landed flat on my face. Kid... wait, my beetle! She yells, continuing to chase after it without even acknowledging us. Alright, so this is just what we're doing tonight, huh? Frozen Flame, completely out of her mind. All she cares about is beetle. Relentlessly chasing the beetle, she plunges deeper and deeper into the forest. We follow after, desperately trying to keep her in sight. For all I know, it could be the golden beetle, or just something else. Some unrelated insect. However, we're so deep in the forest now, I can't see anything but an endless assortment of dark trees and jagged rocks. Jagged trees and dark trees and jagged rocks, stretching out in every direction. I doubt Kid herself can even see the beetle at this point. How could she still be tracking it? As soon as I start to ask myself this, I realize what she'd tell me. Intuition. Right. Suddenly, Kid stops in a clearing. Did you find it? No, I found something gold, but it ain't the golden beetle. I look over Kid's shoulder. There, in a small spot of light, stands a tall, golden plant. My first impression is that it's a sunflower, but those don't usually bloom at night, do they? What is that thing? Shit, you're thick as ever. There's something special about this thing. Can't you feel it? I close my eyes trying to get one of those feelings she's always talking about. Take a deep breath. Forest smell. Kid suddenly jabs me in the arm. I have to admit, I haven't had much luck in being intuitive, especially while being beaten up. I try to wonder what she could possibly be feeling all the way out here in the middle of nowhere. I walk around the enormous plant, taking another look at it, but then suddenly... What the... Oh no! What? Hello? It has a face? A face suddenly emerged in the center of the flower. It's a ghastly sight, complete with drunken, drowsy eyes, purple eyelashes, thick pink lips, and a long, bent nose. A cross-dressing sunflower. Is it cross-dressing? It just looks weird. What is this thing, Kid? I go to ask Kid, but she's too busy laughing at it. It's surely something else, without a doubt. What is it, Maggle? Apparently unfazed by the strange sight, Maggle calmly starts to rack his brain. What was this sort of thing called? He strokes his chin, going into a sort of quiet trance. I sure hope he remembers soon. That's Maggle for you, though. He's got a head full of knowledge, wiser than most I've met. However, it takes him a good bit of time to remember certain things, and until he remembers, he'll remain completely useless. He's led us into danger a few times because of that. Hi. Can I... Oh. Bonjour, mademoiselle. Wait, he can talk to? What? Kid asks, smirking. Ah, mon chéri, I was just sneaking a peek at your petite breast. I hope that you are not angry. What? Get your eyes off of me. Yeah, stop looking at her breasts. What's with your weird mouth? My sweet mademoiselle, how young and feisty you are. The sunflower answers back playfully. You perverted freak of nature, what was you saying around me? Kid says as she flashes her dagger, dangling down at her side. Kid squaring off with the sunflower. Yeah, now I've seen it all. My darling, perhaps you and I could converse somewhere a bit more private. Suddenly, Kid whips out her dagger, slashing clean through the sunflower's stalk. Yeah! Its blaring screeches is excruciating to hear as 100 hands simultaneously scratching down a chalkboard. I feel faint. My knees are going to buckle if I hear any more of that deafening screech. But then, suddenly... You must not be so violent, mon sweet-chested filet. That tickles. Somehow, another sunflower has instantly sprouted and replaced the one that was cut down perfectly identical to its predecessor. Everybody got the plot right now? Everybody understand what's going on here? Because it's very strange. Bastard! Kid shouts, slashing her dagger through the air once again. Yeah! More and more of that awful screech fills the air, but then, moments later... No, I'm not yet married, but if you insist... Yeah! 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 Kid continues hacking away, tearing down every new sunflower that pops up. However, for every new one she mows down, 2 or 3 instantly sprout up in its place. All this screeching, I can't take anymore. Stop! Kid, please! Get Maggle to do something. It is kind of pathetic, but rationalizing with Kid's useless. All I can think of is to ask Maggle for help. I look over to him and say, Maggle, what do we do? But he just stands there with his finger on his chin, staring down at the ground as still as a statue. Shaking him, I shout, Hey, Maggle! But it's useless. Beneath his mask, those eyes of his sport a blank, foggy gaze, silently staring off into nothingness. I can't believe it. He must still be trying to remember what this thing is called. We have to do something here. I can't just sit here and let this happen. Mon chéri, why must you shake your puny little sword at moi? We do not need such love games. With the sweet feelings we have for each other, there is no use for le violence, n'est-ce pas? Wait, is that "n'est-ce pas"? Is that? I don't know. I don't speak French. Y'all should know that by now. I don't speak French. Kid's face turns redder and redder as she buries herself further into the sunflower patch. Oh, I remember now, Maggle says, finally snapping out of it. This is what's known as a Mandora monster. Please do not make the mistake of trying to cut it down. Maggle? I point to the humongous crop of sunflowers where Kid has now resorted to gripping one of the sunflower stalks and shaking it with both hands. However, the sunflower does nothing but laugh down at her. And scene. Oh, blue is happening. Suddenly, all around us, the ground starts to tremble and quake. Dirt loosens as the ground gives way, creating a sort of quicksand beneath our feet. I leap back instantly, but I then realize Kid's still in the thick of it, ignoring everything except the sunflowers. Kid! I yell, but it's too late. She's caught up in the entanglement of stalks. After a moment, she slips and falls on the unstable ground, getting swallowed up into the newly formed pit beneath her. I try to go after her, but just as I approach the patch, a great number of plants and vines quickly shoot up around Kid, blocking me. Then suddenly, a mess of vines leap out at me, trying to wrap themselves around my arms and legs. However, I feel a set of strong arms take hold of me and jerk me back almost immediately. Thanks, Maggle. You're so strong. You're such a big, strong boy. There's no time to lose. Run. I know. There's no time to lose. Run. But Kid! I know! Running up onto a nearby hill, I stop for a moment and look back. The whole mess is nothing but a billowing cloud of dust now. All I can make out are a multitude of vines waving crazily in the air. I can neither hear nor see Kid. Call out to her from here. Kid! Kid! I call out to her again and again, but to no avail. I want to rush in there and help her, but... After a minute or two, the dust starts to settle. Also, there's something strange in the background. Hey, what's that? A large silhouette is starting to appear from out of the dust cloud. It's big. A lot bigger than what was there before. As the figure is gradually exposed to the moonlight, I start to see a more defined shape. Oh, it's Kid. I guess? She's green now? She's a Namekian? And is that like a mech? What is the bottom part? What am I looking at here? Kid! Seriously, what are we looking at here? This thing, whatever it is easily 7 or 8 times my height. Its body seems to resemble a gorilla's, if you say so. Its exposed muscles are wrapped in ivory, and its digits remind me of pointed shellfish? Golden sunflower petals are lined up the back of its neck. However, instead of a head, it's her! Kid's, well, not naked. She's wearing like a weird flower bra, but Kid's mostly naked upper body has been fused into the top of the monster. Other than the 2 small sunflowers covering her chest, she's wearing nothing at all. Serge, listen to me. The Mandora monster has fused with Kid. We must save her quickly, otherwise she'll be lost forever, consumed by her own hate. Serge, quit gawking and pay attention. Sorry? She's gonna die? What? Sorry. I wasn't staring at her mostly nakedness. What? I'm frantically trying to think about what to do. It's hard, though. I can't seem to take my eyes off those 2 sunflowers. Ask how to save her. Focus, Serge. Calm down. There is a way. The monster has managed to intertwine itself with Kid because of her strong sentiment to anger. Unless we separate Kid from her anger, we will be unable to save her. How do we do that? She's always angry. Always angry. With love. Love? Yes, love. Yes, it's the only way. I shall go and make preparations. In the meantime, protect Kid's body and show her love. Also, you must prevent her from using any magic. In her current state, the more she casts spells, the more she'll be lost to that beast. What? Kid can't use magic. She can now. Oh, how can this be happening? Serge, show her your love, Maggle says, leaving me with those words as he sinks into a nearby shadow. I'm going to go do things over here. Wait, Maggle! Maggle! Hey! You? Hi. Alone and afraid, I look up at the huge atrocity as I shudder in the chilly nighttime breeze. Love. I couldn't think of a more awkward place to think about love. The sound of the word makes me cringe as it dances through my mind. While lost in thought, I suddenly hear a soft muttering from up above. Hi. You say that they're small. They're not small, I tell you. Is this about your boobs? Is that really what we're talking about right now? Others are big. Too big. Uh-huh. Stop making fun of me. Are we really talking about your boobs right now? Stop making fun of me! I'll kill you! I'll kill you all! Making fun of me boobs. I mean, I didn't say anything. Kid cries out madly, her eyes filled with flames of rage. Suddenly, her gaze shifts towards me. The monster instantly lashes out a giant stone hammer of mine. Jump back. I instantly jump back just as the giant hammer comes crashing down, kicking up deep heaps of dirt and sand with a ground-shaking thud. Kid, it's me, Surge! I call out to her, waving my arms wildly. However, the only reaction I get is of increasing anger. Just then, I start to hear a low voice call out from behind a nearby hill. What's going on over there? Oh no, goblins! Look, it's the Mandara! What? What's got it acting up? Noticing the goblins, the monster begins to moan. Kid's cheeks puff up, and then suddenly... Oh! Kid sends a giant fireball streaking out of her mouth, crashing into the goblins. It instantly reduces them to ashes. Damn it! Magic! I say to myself as Maggle's warning flashes through my head. Finished with the goblins, the monster suddenly remembers me, turning around and returning its gaze my way. I love you. I can't help but feel embarrassed, professing my love to a hulking monster ready to kill me. I nervously shout, I love you! Up into the night sky, hoping she'll hear me. Suddenly, the monster starts to draw closer and closer to me. Did I do it? Is she coming back to reality? No, it really doesn't look like it. Help! I run and hide, plunging into the deep, dark labyrinth of the wilderness. However, behind me I can hear the thunderous sounds of trees being crushed, of boulders being broken. I continue to run as the gigantic monster chases after me. I've been running for at least 5 straight minutes now, dodging trees and jumping logs. Starting to lose my breath. Just as I begin to think I can't run anymore, the end of the forest comes into view. However, as I come to the clearing... Yeah? Oh! Hi there, battalion! Lined up before me is a troop of fearless-looking goblins. They're carrying a huge cannon with them, easily 20 feet tall. I try not to think of how easily I'd be obliterated if I ever accidentally stood in its path. Or was forced to stand in its path, for that matter. There, lock on the target! Shouts a goblin. Oh, great. Stop, though! I collapse at the goblin's feet, out of breath. The goblin leader, decked in full suit of iron armor, sporting Lynx's insignia, comes over towards me. It glares at me with a piercing, intimidating eyes, as though it's ready to whip out its mace if I do so much as breathe the wrong way. Man, I really don't know about this, turning to goblins for help, but I've got no other choice. Hey, goblins! Please, help me save my friend. The goblin guard stares at me blankly. I continue, gasping for air between sentences. We were chasing after this beetle, when the sunflower suddenly appeared and captured my friend and started chasing me through the forest. Please, you have to help us. She's the most important thing in the world to me. The goblin's eyes relax. Is that right? Your friend was captured. I understand. We'll help you. Don't worry. Oh, thank you. Boy, I'm sure glad I didn't judge this book by its cover. However, just as I say this... And how much of this... How much would this lovely beetle of kids sell for? That voice. Suddenly, the goblin shouts out, What? Your friend is that crooked thief kid! A wave of shock goes through me, just when things were starting to seem okay for once. I try to see behind the goblin, searching for that strangely familiar voice, the one that sounded just like the sunflowers. However, all I can make out is some sort of strange psychedelic light emanating from behind the troop. Light seems to be coming from a figure, whoever, or whatever it is. As he makes his way through the crowd, I finally get a good look at him. His hairstyle reminds me of a tall green chimney, and his red and green pinstriped costume, that of a harlequin. And over the top, long purple cape drags behind him as he approaches me. Are you the sunflower? I ask, confused. Sunflower? Who is a sunflower? It cries out. I can't help it. This thing, his face looks just like the sunflowers. Caught off guard by the sight, 2 goblin guards flank me by surprise, wrestling me to the ground. Monsieur, you are Mademoiselle Kid's friend, no? I do not believe I have met. Bonjour, je m'appelle Paulon. Throughout the world, I am known as the Green Terror. Perhaps you have heard of me, no? Glare at it. That same strange feeling I got with that sunflower arises. No matter. Soon le terror shall be planted in your heart, for Kid's death is at hand. As a gentleman, I shall grant you the privilege of seeing this happen before your very eyes. No, you can't. Well, look who knows so much all of a sudden. But alas, if you do not have the right kind of weapon, to defeat a monster such as the Mandora is very difficult. Perhaps, how do you say, impossible, no? However, Polon says, pointing towards the cannon, with one single shot of my hyper magic cannon, that will be that. The cannon? I knew it was powerful, but magical? Taking another look at it, I noticed it's definitely not an ordinary cannon. There's no fuse on the barrel. Instead, some ivy vines are connected to a pedestal where a mysterious crystal ball sits. Captain, there it is! The goblin shout strikes fear to my heart like a death sentence. Do the cannon, sir! The guard says to Polon. Stop, please! I holler, hopelessly trying to break free of the guard's restraint. However, they only tighten their grips on my arms, and tears begin to stream down my cheeks as the pain sets in. Monsieur, I offer you this. Are there any final words you would like to say? Would like more to say to this friend of yours? That one. Oh, oui. Whenever I use the cannon, I shall say that. I can tell you must have had quite a few feisty experiences with the filet, no? With a bittersweet smile on his face, Polon skips toward this pedestal. No! Stop! My grievous cries resound unanswered, echoing throughout the starry night sky. I could see some of the goblins have felt my side of the story, but Polon remains unfazed. Well then, let us begin, he shouts, grasping the crystal ball with both hands. Gone, fireball! Adieu, mon petit-chested mademoiselle! The barrel of the magical cannon flashes as a tremendous fireball is let loose. It shoots directly towards the monster, crashing into its torso with the impact of a 2-ton battering ram. Explosive flames engulf the area, blowing me back with a gust of hot air. Kid! Oui. Finally, we are rid of that horrible little mademoiselle. In the past, such terrible experiences have stemmed from her, no? But now we shall worry about her no more. Kid. I fall to the ground, devastated. But even more so is the dreadful feeling of regret I'm filled with. However, suddenly the goblin guards simultaneously call out in surprise, Captain, look! A giant figure of some kind seems to be emerging from the blazing explosion. Haha! I made her angry by insulting her chest! Yes! Winner! She's alive! I think she actually would have died if you had said anything else, but you had to make her angry. As the smoke subsides, there stands the monster, completely unharmed. Just as I thought, that pompous freak is no match for Kid. I breathe a sigh of relief, but then realize I'm no further away from doom than before. What? She lives? How can this be? Polon screams incredulously, running towards me. The relaxed smile from earlier has now been replaced with the nervous sweat. What kind of twisted magic is this? He frustratedly asked me. It's impossible, pour vous. I answer sarcastically, trying to imitate that pompous accent of his, complete with landing a few drops of saliva on his putrid face. Polon turns bright red. What? Spit it out, you little swine! He demands, furiously shaking me by my shirt. But then, all of a sudden... Ah! I don't know who said it, so... Like a howling wolf, Kid's voice echoes throughout the grassy plain. A chill runs down my spine. Could it really be her, trying to break free of the monster? As I stare up at her, silence and fear take hold. She's waving her hands around in the air, saying something in a slow, deep voice. Oh gosh. They dead who lurk in the dark. Quietly and solemnly, Kid's voice begins to echo out. That's her voice, all right, but it doesn't sound like her at all. The monster's still got a hold on her. It must be using her to summon another spell. As she continues to chant, a blue aura starts to form in front of her, shimmering with a deadly beauty. Eh? How can she do that? Polon shrieks, now turning blue with fright. No one can stand up against them, against MoeChicken. Adieu! He shouts before quickly fleeing. The goblin chief follows soon after. All troops, fall back! Retreat to the manor on the door! Following the goblin chief's orders, the soldiers abandon the cannon and flee to Viper Manor. I'm left alone with this gigantic monstrosity, listening to it starting to summon who knows what. What am I supposed to do now? Call for help. My cries ring out in the night sky as I gulp down desperate gasps of air. However, the only response I hear is kids. Hatred and jealousy in my hands. Gather into 1,000 dark prayers. I don't think that's her voice, but I'm losing track of it at this point because there's a lot of silly voices in this episode. Just as I think I'm about to lose it, a voice echoes out from behind me. There you are. Alarmed, I whip around instantly. Maggle! Relieved, I try to catch my breath. Hello. I'm here too. He's changed. A sort of glittering silver robe drapes down over his shoulders, and a bright ring shines across his entire back. You made me wait here all this time just so you could change into that thing? From behind his mask, Maggle remains composed as ever, ignoring my question. He shifts his gaze over to the beast. This is a volatile situation, Surge. Clenching my fists, I try to forget about all this and keep in mind that Kid's the one who's important here. I tried to do what you told me to, but... Yes. However, for now, we should leave this area. It is not safe here. Scooping me up into his arm, magnificently, Maggle briefly recites a spell and soars high into the air. From far above, I look down upon the ominous landscape, hearing Kid continue to recite her strange incantation. The fallen angel, Archmist. Answer my prayer, and grant me thy power. I can barely make it all out from up here, but from what I can tell, a faint, pale light is starting to drift all around the monster, causing the ball of light in Kid's hands to grow stronger and stronger. I wish I could do something, but I don't know what to do. Death to all living things. Destruction to all creation. Devour all light. Don't do that, though. Phantom, break! Oh. With the sound of 1,000 tortured voices, all madness crying out in unison, Kid's surging ball of light begins to grow larger and larger, eating away at everything around her. The pale, shimmering light slowly stretches outwards, swallowing up everything in its path and melting Viper Manor, and like fire and ice, it indiscriminately evaporates the huge mansion along with everything else in its wake. Oh. Stretching out more and more, the gigantic void eats away at everything before disappearing into the ground. Unbelievable. If Maggle hadn't been here just now... Oh man, just thinking about it gives me chills. A giant fissure has been created where Viper Manor once stood, continuing down into the ground farther than I can see. And there, on the brink of this newly formed ravine, stands Kid. She seems to be holding out, Maggle says. She's wrestling with the monster for control, but she's almost at her limit. I can barely hold back the impatience in my heart, looking down upon all this. What's going to happen to her? Don't let her die! Quiet, child. Maggle's unexpected outburst snaps me out of my nervousness. Calm down, Surge. He's right. I need to keep my cool. I don't think he needed to go about it like that, though. He called me a child. I'm not a child. He's a child. Allow me to cast... Sure. Allow me to cast a levitation spell on you, he says, before muttering some arcane words. Shortly after, he gently releases me. Oh, I'm floating. To fly, simply think about the direction you wish to travel. Nodding, I carefully try it out. He's right. This is amazing. I dart here and there, flying circles around him with ease, like a child. Now, please let me see your knife. I take it out and hand it to him. Maggle takes a white jewel from inside his robe, and again mumbles some strange-sounding words. Suddenly, the jewel attaches itself to the hilt of my knife as though it were magnetized. He hands the knife back to me, saying, I mentioned this to you before, but let me emphasize it again. Kid is bound to the monster's body because of her anger. As long as that bond exists, we will be unable to save her. To break it, I told you to show her your love. But I don't understand how to do that, I yell, pressing him for an answer. Figure it out. Why don't you kiss the girl? A kiss. I have to kiss that thing? Yes. Smooch it. Give it a big ol' smoochy. It's the most effective way. Girls love kisses. Sweet kisses. But its arms are as wide as my waist. Why didn't you tell me this before? I yell, hitting him upside the head in a fit of rage. With that, I accidentally knocked Maggle's golden mask off, sending it falling down through the night sky to the ground. Did I just do that? This is the first time I've ever seen his true face. He's so beashy. Oh, he's so beashy! Even for a guy like me, I'm taken back by his looks. His hair sways in the moonlight as his piercing blue eyes survey the environment below. His beauty is different from a woman's. There's some sort of a fierce, intrepid quality about him. He's truly a beautiful person. Anyway, Maggle's hand suddenly comes across my face, eagerly returning the blow. Serge, listen. Stop looking at my beashiness. Serge, listen to me. I'm okay now, I swear. I wasn't gawking at your beautiful face, dude. Oh my gosh. Have you always looked like that? Yes. If Kid uses one more spell, we will not be able to save her. Be sure to kiss her before that happens. However, if you are unable to do this before she finishes concentrating her magical power, you must thrust your knife into her heart. The jewel embedded in your knife holds the power to steal souls. Doing so will be dangerous, but it will be our last resort. Listening to Maggle's words, the possibilities run through my head. Two choices. Even though I can fly, it's going to be incredibly hard to get close enough to that thing to kiss her. But the alternative, I don't want to have to think about that. I'm going to start preparations for the exorcism. I will not be able to come to your aid during this time. Oh man, he's got to go away again? But I mean, look at him though, dude. Can he just stay here with me? In the moonlight? Us together flying in the moonlight? Could this get any more hopeless? Taking a deep breath, I try to convince myself that I should be facing Kid on my own anyways. Got it. I'll do my best. Yes, Serge. Your determination is at the very core of this matter, he says, with his deep blue eyes, his beautiful deep blue eyes fixed solidly on me. Strange, behind that seemingly impenetrable gaze of his, I swear I see a hint of compassion somewhere within him. Somewhere inside of his beautiful blue eyes. I kind of forgot about the Bishi Maggle part, honestly. Well then, let's go. Protect the girl you love with all your might. And all your heart. I'm kind of wavering now, honestly. Can you leave your mask off most of the time? As Maggle's words resound in my into my head, an uproar of might rushes into my spirit. I'm going to save her, even if it kills me. The will to save the one and only Kid pulses through my body. I flash Maggle a huge smile and begin my descent. I look back one more time, and then another time, and then kind of come back up and be like, hey, what are you doing after this? And then he whacks me on the back of the head and I go back down again. For Kid. There we go! Look at me go! That's me, I guess. I'm blue. Soaring down through the air, I spot Kid at the edge of the chasm. She's aware of me as well. As the monster rises up to its feet, she stares up at me with an infuriated look on her face. She's changed. Countless red vines have streaked across her body, pulsating with anger. The monster's right hand arcs upward in a flash, trying desperately to grab me. I dodge at the very last second. I zip behind the arm, coming within a dangerously close range. Try to cover her mouth up. Come on. Time this right. I reach out my hand to carefully cover up her mouth, hoping to prevent her from completing the spell. Smoochy! Kiss the girl! Moving up towards Kid's chin, I try to give her a kiss. However, she has other plans. She thrusts her right hand upward, clocking my jaw from underneath. No, I will stay. I desperately try to drive her away hands, but she manages to poke me in the eye. Ow! Tears roll down my cheeks as an intense pain shoots into my right eye. Could this get any worse? This date is terrible. Suddenly, a tremendous pressure assaults my torso. Looking around, I realize the monster's caught me in its huge hand. Brings me up towards Kid with a morbid stare fixed solely on me. Her lips turn into a gloating smile before changing into a billowing, hateful laugh. She reaches out and places her right hand on my forehead, and then a stream of red starts to pour from her mouth. Ooh, what? Oh no, she's starting another spell. No. I holler out with all my heart, hoping there's any part of her real self still left. However, her expression remains unchanged as her unblinking eyes dance around erratically. Suddenly, a trace of light begins to form in the palm of her hand. Red streaks begin to rise up along her body. Kid! Then, suddenly, a ray of light comes flying at us from overhead, cutting into the monster's arm like a hot knife through butter. I fall to the ground with the monster's arm, instantly released from its excruciating grip. Surge, now! Maggle shouts from high above. Do it again! Kiss! Smoochy smoochy! Heeding Maggle's order, I go for it! I totally go for it, bro! Reaching my hand out towards her beautiful her ever beautiful face, with the pulsating red lines and the eyes rolling around randomly, I hesitantly move in towards her lips. And smoochy smoochy! That's me. I'm the one with the bag on my head. Kid, come back. The words echo out in my head. With my dumb hat. Why is my hat so dumb? Well done, Serge. Hold her tightly to you, and leave the rest to me. Hearing that voice, I slowly open my eyes. All I see is before me is Kid's face, hollow and listless. I'm so scared. I hug her tighter than I've ever hugged her before. I haven't really hugged her very often, but, quietly sobbing as I kiss her again and again. I totally make out with her now that she's not a sunflower anymore. Looking up, I see beautiful, beautiful Maggle floating among a sea of clouds. Hanging there in midair with his arms folded, his dazzling figure glitters like gold. Holy crap, dude's beautiful. Suddenly the clouds beneath him open up as he darts downward, aiming directly for us. Not pictured here. Oh, he is pictured here. The moon comes forth. Its goddess speaks. I am summoned by the will to vanquish evil. Goddess of the moon, lend me your power. Scourge the insolent evil from this world. This is me scourging. Look at me go. Now! Sorry, I burped. The golden ring planted on Maggle's cape shines brighter and brighter as he swoops down onto us. Oh. Gya! I don't know who said that, but Gya! Luna chant ring force kick! Centered on Kid, the collision creates a huge explosion, spreading over the monster's entire body. My first instinct is to back away, but I remain by her, hugging her body tighter than ever. Somehow, the explosive flames don't seem to harm me. Soon after, the flames begin to subside. I slowly open my eyes, only to see the spell on Kid has been broken. She's been separated from the monster. Still totally naked, though. That's cool. I hold her body tightly to me as I fly away with her far out of the reach of the incapacitated monster. Looking back, the monster begins to pulsate with a white light, causing the battered monster's body to shake and tremble. Shimmering sparks dance around its body, circling the beast faster and faster until the entire scene is a glistening ball of light. That was the ball of light! Soaring further and further away from the calamity, I look back again only to see the monster implode into a single point of light. Having left no trace of the disaster that took place before, the small point of light briefly zips around like a firefly, disappearing into the night sky in a flash. Oh. Okay. Looking down, I can't help but grin as I see this familiar sight of Kid's face. The green of her skin is rapidly fading, returning to the normal color it once was. Kid, it's gonna be okay. There is no need to worry. Once her spirit settles, she will awaken. Here, put this on her. It wouldn't be too good if she was to wake up like that, Maggle says, holding out his silver cape. Yeah, if she wakes up like this, it'll be slaps and bruises for everybody. I take the cape and quickly wrap it around her limp body. Oh, she's coming too. My heart races. I look at her face, seeing her eyelids start to tremble. Good morning, kid. I say, still a bit nervous. Serge, Margot. She groggily moves her eyes around left and right, and then, after that brief, subdued moment, you too. Damn it, you saw me naked, didn't you? Shocked, I look up at Margot, but he's nowhere to be seen. How can you leave me here alone with her at a time like this? Why can't I be with the one with the power of the shadows? And the beautiful, beautiful face. I just have a dumb hat. I just have a stupid, stupid hat. Kid stares at me with those ever-fiery eyes of her. Hey, you kissed me, too. How could you remember any of that? Damn it, Margot! Yes, I kissed you. Letting out a deep breath, I answer truthfully. But before I can finish... Yeah, just like I thought. Trying to sneak in a quick peck while I'm knocked out? She yells, rising to her feet, slapping me again and again. I've never been kissed before! The nerve! You bastard! You bastard! You bastard! Suddenly, she stops and looks at me. It's over. Hell no, this ain't over! She lands a solid punch square in my jaw as her shouting continues to tear through my eardrums. Amidst all the commotion, the silver cape she was wearing accidentally slips off. Momentarily thrown off guard, she quickly bends down to cover herself back up. Wait, what's that on the ground? Kid seems to notice it as well, completely forgetting about me. She bends down, picking it up. Some sort of large black and white striped object. Holding it up, I try to see what it is from a safe distance. It looks like it's some sort of seed. Oh yeah, it's a sunflower seed. It's so big. Bigger than a fist. Or this only seems to add more fuel to her fire. She stomps on it, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps, 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 stomps. Then she picks it up and hurls it upwards with all her might. Gonya, 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 gonya. Kid! Kid! Shouts Margot suddenly behind her. Kid! No! He roars, but it's useless. She's locked into another one of her tantrums. Gonya, 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 gonya. Fireball! Everybody out there got this? Kid just shot a fireball somehow. Disregarding him completely, she sends a huge fireball streaking upwards towards the seed. That sunflower seed, it's worth 1 billion gold! Margot shouts just as the seed explodes. Kid suddenly looks over at Margot, but it's too late. I was gonna sell that and get a sweet new mask. The look on her face is one I don't think I've ever seen before. Having just realized what she's done, her anger fades into a tremendous feeling of regret. She slumps over, silently staring into her hands. I can't believe such a single seed could fetch such a price. It's a pretty big seed, though. Be calm, kid, Margot says. As you see now, you've had the power to use magic in you all along. The sunflower merely brought it out to you. However, as you see, magic is a very temperamental thing. In time, you may learn to control it. Hey, come on, kid. We didn't come away from this empty-handed. You've learned how to use magic. That's nothing to be down about, I add, trying to make the best of things. Margot softly puts a hand on her shoulder. However, she quickly turns away from us, without saying a word. Her eyes are overflowing with tears. She could have made so much money. So much money. Looks like it might be a while before things get back to normal. Yeah. And scene. And that's the that's the third ending. Yay! It was really weird. I like that one. That one's very strange. And it's got Bishi Maggle in it too. And so the curtain closes on another tale. However, another time, after the spotlight had faded from Kid, Maggle, and Poulon, in another place, another time, a similar band of adventurers had come forth, equally unsuspecting of their other selves, and life went on as they strode out into the great unknown. But that's a story for another day. For now, I shall put down my pen. and stop talking about weird sunflowers. I love that the most upsetting thing for Kid was the idea that the sunflower seed was very valuable. Uh-huh. My friend's here. Is my friend a sunflower? Could my friend be a sunflower? Nope, it's a girl. Not a sunflower. She wants me to go and find a mansion in Kitsune Forest. It's a good time. It's a good time. We're gonna go check it out. That's what we do. Pretty much every time I read my grandfather's diary. We then go to a fox forest. It's a good time. It's a good time. No problem. I love that. I love it. It's funny. I like the fact that they obviously put so much effort into the bonus endings in this. Because you think about the bonus endings from Chrono Trigger, they were basically using already existing materials. You know, they just used the sprites and stuff from the game. But this, like, that entire sequence was like all new stuff, pretty much. You know, like it was like completely divergent from everything. And these have been fairly long so far. I forgot how much longer they were. So it's cool. It's cool. But that's it for today. In the next episode, we will try another ending. Let me check my little list here and see which one it is. The next ending is... The next ending is fun too, so I hope you'll come back and join me for that. I am the MoeChicken, this is Radical Dreamers, and thanks for stopping by.